Hi, my name's Kurt Bowman and welcome back to Yoga for Old Guys. Today we're just going to do probably about a 30-minute vinyasa flow routine. It's going to be a workout, but it's going to be fairly short and not a lot of meditation or slowness in it. So let's go ahead and get started from a standing position. Get yourself grounded in and just start by bringing your shoulders up, back, and down. Exaggerate the effort a little bit. Turn your palms straight out into a mountain pose. And just take a breath in through the nostrils to get started. Let it out slowly. A second. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. I walk around way too much with my shoulders rounded forward. Just give them a chance to open up. And step to the front of your mat. Arms overhead. Gently, with bended knees, come down and bend your knees as much as you're able to touch the floor. Now slowly start to straighten your legs and stop when you start to feel the shaking or the pull. We got to get warmed up here just a little bit. Come back down, bend the knees. Straighten the legs out again. Fingertips are on the floor. Straighten out as much as you're able. Bend the knees one more time. Straighten them out as much as you're able. Come up into halfway lifted. Flat back. Forward fold. And roll back up in the mountain. Shoulders up, back, and down. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, come into high plank. Lower slowly, elbows against your ribs. 4 inches off the ground, point the toes back, come up into upward facing dog. Allow the back to stretch a little bit. Roll the toes back under, push back into downward facing dog. Take a breath. Right leg, three-legged dog. Right foot forward, drop the back leg, come into warrior one. Hands behind the back. I'm guessing you might not be able to put your palms together in the back, but if you are, that's fine. Clasp your hands, lean forward into humbled warrior. Ooh. Stretch out the hip just a bit. Come back up, warrior one. Hands to the mat. Push back, lower into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look between your hands, walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Roll all the way up to standing, arms overhead, up, back, and down. Palms facing forward, mountain pose. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifted. Come into high plank. Lower slowly into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Bring your left foot forward. Drop your back foot, come into Warrior One. Clasp your hands the other way behind your back. Drop down into Humble Warrior. Stretch out that hip, let your neck hang. Come back up into Warrior One. Hands to the mat, high plank. Lower into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look between your hands. Hop, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Roll up into mountain. Shoulders up, back and down. Take a breath. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, come into high plank. Lower slowly into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Left foot forward, drop the back, come into Warrior Two. Your front heel is probably in line with the middle of your back foot. Bring your arms apart. The exercise is not for the arms, but rather to get as close to a 90 here as we're able. Drop the back hand, come into Reverse Warrior. Warrior Two. Drop the front elbow, come into side angle. Here you want to make sure there's a line from your heel up through your fingers and your chest is open. Don't roll down. Even if you have to be up here, you're looking for that line. Come back into Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg. Tick-tock forward and come into triangle. Again, if you're going to the floor and rolling your chest, don't do it. Be as high or as low as you're able to keep into the triangle pose. Bend your front leg, come into Warrior Two. Windmill your hands to the floor. Come into high plank. Lower slowly into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Right leg, three-legged dog. Right foot forward. Drop the back leg. Come into Warrior Two. Check your alignment. Open the chest. Drop the back hand. Reverse Warrior. Drop the front elbow. Come into side angle. Chest is open. Look to the sky or to the ceiling. That helps open your chest. Some people look to their open front hand. Get that laser-like line. Come into Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg. Tick-tock forward. Come into triangle. Open the chest. Come in. Spin the hands to the ground. Come into high plank. Lower slowly into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look between your hands. Step or hop to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Halfway lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Roll slowly up to mountain pose. Shoulders up, back and down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lifted. Come into high plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Left foot forward. Drop the back foot for warrior two. Drop the right hand or back hand. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Drop the front elbow. Come into side angle. For that additional challenge, take your front hand and bring it out in front of you. Open your chest. Don't fold it. Straight line. Come into warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Tick-tock forward. Triangle. Warrior two. Windmill your hands to the floor. Come into high plank. Lower into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. Right foot forward. Come into warrior two. Check your alignment. Drop your back hand, reverse warrior. Front elbow down. Come into side angle. If you want that challenge on this side, bring your front arm in front of you. Come into warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Tick-tock forward. Come into triangle. Back is against the proverbial wall. Bended knee, warrior two. Spin the hands to the floor. High plank. Lower into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale, left leg, three-legged dog. Bring your left foot forward. Leave your back heel up. Toes on the floor, back heels up. Come into crescent lunge. Stretch your back leg out behind you. If you need a modification, you can drop that back knee to the ground. Interlock your hands behind you. Come into humble warrior from crescent. A little tougher, challenge the legs. Come back up into crescent. Bring your hands to heart center. Prayer twist to the left. Lock that right elbow in the left thigh or knee. Drop your back upper elbow down. Open up the chest, twist with your torso, come into crescent, hands to the mat, push back into high plank, lower into chaturanga, exhale upward facing, inhale upward facing dog, exhale downward facing dog. Take a breath. Right leg, three-legged dog. Right foot forward. Keep the back heel up. Come into crescent lunge. Interlock your hands behind your back. Humble warrior from crescent. Oof. Falling out of it. Come into crescent lunge. Hands to heart center. Come into prayer twist to the right. Drop your back elbow. Open your chest. Hands to the mat. Come into high plank. Lower into chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Left foot forward. Drop the back knee. Wiggle your left foot out to the edge of your mat. Come into lizard. Now for some, you're going to be able to get your elbows down. But try this. Keep your back straight. Head up. And push your chest out to the edge of the front of your mat. Now, not concerned about how low you're getting, but putting a stretch on that left glute and thigh. Walk your hands back, push back into downward dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. Bring your right foot out to the edge of your mat, back knee, and push back or push forward, back straight, neck straight. Bring your chest out to the front of your mat and allow your pelvis to sink. Open up the hip. Let it stretch. Push back into downward facing dog. Drop the knees to the mat. Toes together, push back into child's pose. Come into tabletop, push back into downward facing dog, walk the hands back to the feet at the back of your mat, let your neck, head hang. Straighten your legs as much as you're able with your fingers on the ground. Roll up into mountain, shoulders up, back and down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Walk your hands out to high plank. Lower into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. High plank. Lower all the way to the mat. Toes pointed back, flat on the floor. Arms straight out in front of you. Pinkies on the floor. Thumbs pointed to the ceiling. Raise your left arm a few inches off the ground. Keep your body square. Raise your right leg off the ground 6 inches. Knees off the ground. Everything down. Right arm off the ground. Left leg off the ground. Everything's up a few inches. Right and left. And come down. Both arms up, off right in front of you. Forehead's on the ground. With your forehead down, bring your arms into cactus. Bring your legs off the ground, forehead's down. Legs and arms are up. Bring everything to the ground, arms back out in front of you. Take a breath. Again, left arm up, right leg up. Right arm up, left leg up. Bring your chest, head up, arms into cactus. Arms out to a T. Everything is up. Bring your arms back into Superman. Bring your arms out in front of you. Everything's off the ground. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything's down. Palms on the floor, up by your chest. Curl your toes back under. Push straight up into high plank. Push back into downward dog. Take a breath. Bring your knees to the ground. Push back into child's pose. Come into tabletop and bring yourself into seated. Take your right leg first. Knee is straight out from your hip. Bring your right foot back as close to your left glute as you're able. Bring your left foot up over your right thigh. Knee is up. And first, start to, by sitting up straight, cradle the left leg as much as you're able. Stand straight. Straighten out the lower back. Drop the left foot and just lean forward over your left knee. Switch. Left knee is pointing straight out in front of you. Left foot up by your right glute. Bring your right leg up into cradle. Actually feel that in your left hip. Drop your right foot over your left thigh and just lean out over your knee as much as you're able. Come back up. Roll to your back. Knees up. Bring your heels as close to your glutes as you're able. Lift your shoulders off, or push your shoulder blades off the ground and roll them underneath you. Head and neck are on the ground. Push up into bridge. Again, make sure you're not bridging on your neck or your head. You should be able to freely move your head and neck. Your shoulder blades and shoulders should be carrying the weight. Push up a little higher if you want to come up on your toes. That's fine as long as you don't jam up your neck. Drop back down. Again, push up into bridge. Come back down. Bring yourself over to your side. Do side planks. Start on your right side. Your right forearm down. Right side of your foot. Left side of your foot. And bring your left shoulder back. Open your chest. Main thing is to don't let your hips sag. Work those obliques by lifting your hip. Come back down. I'm going to roll over and face the screen. Left side, left forearm down, left side of your foot, and open the chest. Raise your hips. Bring your hips down. Roll over onto your stomach. Open up your palms. Drop your forearms to the ground. Palms down. Just come into a Sphinx pose. Just let your pelvis, groin rest on the mat. Toes are pointed back and down. Just push back. Again, if you're feeling any pain, stretching is fine, but pain, stop. Drop down. Push back up into Sphinx. Bring your forearms out in front of you. Make fists, align them with your shoulders. Curl your toes back under. Come into a traditional plank. Make sure you are straight from your heels to the top of your head. Don't bring your butt up in the air, and don't let your groin hang or touch the ground. Engage the glutes, engage the back. Push your heels back, draw your body back. And down. Okay. That is just a very quick little bit of a cardio push, a little bit of stretching, a little bit of work on the legs, but a great, just a great quick workout. Again, if you have any comments, drop me a line in the comments on YouTube, or drop me a line at yoga for old guys, one word, yogaforoldguys@gmail.com. I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. My name is Kurt Bowman, and have a great day.